Is WWE 2K24 worth your money? You're about to find out. What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani here to review WWE 2K24 40 years of WrestleMania edition. With WrestleMania right around the corner, we're about to celebrate 40 years of the grand spectacle. This review copy is courtesy of 2K, and man, there is a whole lot of content to dive into. Keep in mind, if you did buy this edition, you can play this game for 3 days early access, and it includes multiple packs, including, of course, the Season Pass, and you get the Nightmare Family Pack, which includes 1976 Dusty Rhodes and his MyFaction card, Stardust, Undashing Cody Rhodes with the bags and the mask, Superstar Billy Graham, Mattel Cody Rhodes, aka Elite Cody Rhodes, and you get his MyFaction card, and you get Pharaoh Manager MyFaction card. Yes, you even get the dog. You also get all the deluxe edition content, which includes the Season Pass, which has 5 DLC packs, the MyRise Mega Boost, the Supercharger, the Rhea Ripley MyFaction Gold card, the Bianca Belair MyFaction Gold card, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair's alternate attires, and you get the 40 Years of WrestleMania pack that includes Showcase Superstars roster unlock, the WrestleMania 40 Arena, Macho King Randy Savage from WrestleMania 6, Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 22, Triple H from WrestleMania 30, Charlotte from WrestleMania 33, Rhea Ripley from WrestleMania 36, and Gold MyFaction for all cards of the above. But with all that being said, how's the base game? How's the sum of all its parts? Let's dive in. WWE 2K24 has some notable additions this year. First and foremost, not just an updated roster as usual, but you can play in the 2K Showcase with 40 years of WrestleMania, and this extends all the way to the early days of the grand stage of them all. You can play as various classic characters such as Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Steve Austin. The list goes on and on. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. As somebody who loves pro wrestling history, this is my kind of mode. Some people may have liked the previous year's mode, which was with John Cena, where you literally play against him in some of his most famous matches. This is more historical. This is kind of a throwback, actually, to WWE 2K14, the first WWE 2K game, which featured the many years of WrestleMania. This is a whole lot of fun. You get a lot of different classic characters, arenas, and so on. So if you're somebody like me that's been a long time fan, you'll enjoy this. And hey, even if you haven't been, they got some cool video packages, and it's a nice way to learn some WWE history. You have the return of Universe Mode, which allows you to run multiple shows, or you could take the journey of one lucky superstar en route to superstardom. I decided, ironically enough, to work with Superstar Billy Graham, which was pretty cool in the Superstar Mode. This is as customizable as ever. Not too many changes, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's fully customizable. There are so many storylines to choose from and rivalries to make. And of course, you can incorporate all your different characters that you may download from community creations or create yourself. MyFaction is also back. Personally, not the biggest fan of this mode. There's a lot of fun, free activities you can do. This is essentially similar to what we've seen with NBA 2K and EA Sports, and you can earn different card packs, points, all kinds of unlockables through playing various challenges, completing them. Not my personal favorite mode. I'm not the biggest fan of these type of microtransactions in any video game, especially sports games, but it's on top of everything you get already with the base game, so I don't mind it too much, but not my deal. My personal favorite mode is MyGM, and I gotta say, this year, it is a big improvement to some extent. You can not only play as an additional brand, this time ECW, but you could actually book multi-person matches for championships. I like the fact that it's a little more expansive this year. Still feel like they're scratching the surface on all that potential, but it is a lot of fun. I will say this, though. A little annoyed that you can select ECW, but there's no ECW Women's Championship. Why can't we implement custom belts in this day and age? That is a little annoying. And keep in mind, WCW does have a Women's Championship, and some people will say, well, technically WCW did have a women's title. And that's true, but for most of the peak years of WCW, They didn't have a women's title, yet you can play a women's champion in MyGM in WCW. It makes no sense. Hopefully that's something they could patch up. I feel like that's a simple fix. Otherwise, I love MyGM. You could literally just simulate matches and book the perfect cards year to year to year. You could go draft your favorite superstars, build the ultimate roster. You could play through the matches if you want as well and have the different feuds with the various GMs. I love this mode and I hope they continue to build upon this. But hey, please, give us a women's title in ECW. The Creation Suite, as always, is as fun as ever. There's so much to choose from. You could create your own belts, your own shows, your own videos, arenas, your own superstar. I absolutely love the customization and mods you could do in WWE 2K24. Speaking of mods, there's some modifications to this year's game modes because you have not one, not two, but 3 brand new match modes. You got the ambulance match. The objective is to beat your opponent so senseless that they have to leave the arena in an ambulance, and you guessed it, you throw them into an ambulance. You have the casket match where you literally have to put somebody in a casket for you youngins out there that aren't familiar with the Undertaker specialty. And you have special guest referee, which is just how it sounds. You could literally book a special guest referee. They could rock the referee stripes. They could not rock it. And you get that referee who may or may not call it right down the middle. And finally, you have not one, but 2 versions of MyRise, aka WWE's My Career mode. And man, it has a lot of content, got some interesting scenarios, but at the same time, to some extent, it still leaves a lot to be desired. And hear me out. With MyRise, you have one of 2 modes. You have Unleashed, which allows you to play as a female superstar who was the darling of the indies, who helped an independent promotion rise up the ashes. Think of, say, ECW, for example. And somehow, some way, she finds herself within the WWE system. And then there's MyRise Undisputed, where Roman Reigns vacates the Undisputed Universal Championship to go to Hollywood, and bam, you're thrust as a young WWE superstar on the men's side with an opportunity of a lifetime. Both these modes have some real interesting dialogue, some interesting choices that you can make, some very unique scenarios in the match modes, like setting a table on fire and putting somebody through it. That's kind of cool. But there are some drawbacks. First and foremost, the graphics, especially on the women's side of things. I don't get how NBA 2K on the current gen consoles can look so good with their My Career mode, My Journey, whatever you want to call it. They look like current gen or next gen cutscenes. Whereas you go to MyRise, for the last 3-4 years, it doesn't look good. It looks like it's out of a PS2 or Xbox 360 game. And there's a huge disparity, by the way, just in general, still to this day, between some of the female character models and some of the male character models. And that is so apparent too. You go to Undisputed, there's still some awkward looking folks like freaking William Regal, who unfortunately looks like he's wearing a wig. I mean, maybe he is in this game.
Don't blow yourself up, young man. You're apt to have a long night.
Mr. Regal.
Coming in early to help the ring crew, running the ropes while everyone else is still at the hotel. It makes an impression.
Thanks. I do my best.
Do you?
What do you mean?
Do you do your best? Apply yourself.
You sound like my old math teacher.
Ladies, we don't have time for shenanigans today. And that includes whatever beef anyone in this room, Shotzi included, might have with someone else from the independent circuit.
My colleague, Mr. Regal, is right. We've got a busy schedule today to get all of you seen. Even those of you we weren't expecting to see.
Yes, the curious question of our unexpected guest. Thank you, Justine. I'm not disappointed to see you, but I am confused. You've turned down our invitations in the past, but you show up today?
What can I say? Circumstances change. I'm ready to give it a try.
Yeah, she's super stoked to be here.
Well, that's just fantastic. Everyone warm up. We'll get started soon.
And then you go to Unleashed, and man, the women look like they're straight out of an Xbox 360 game. It's freaking crazy. I'm sure it's a huge lift year over year over year to have a new career mode. But if NBA 2K under the same publisher can do it, I don't see why WWE 2K can't. And while I'm at it with some of the complaints here, let's just get to the rest. Referees still to this day are super slow. Some mechanics are still a little annoying, like trying to whip people or put them in a corner. when you're completing an objective. Not the worst thing in the world, but just like a minor complaint there. There's some other individual characters that kind of bewilder me. For example, Scarlett Bordeaux has the exact same entrance as Karrion Kross. Last time I checked, Scarlett does not enter the ring like Karrion Kross. It's just literally the same mannerism, same animation, same everything. Hope they fix that in a patch. Eddie Guerrero from 1997, his character model has way too low of a rating. Mid-70s for Eddie Guerrero? You're telling me Shane McMahon's rated higher than 1997 Eddie Guerrero? That makes zero sense to me. Again, another thing I hope they fix in a patch. So what's the verdict? Graphically, I give this game a 7. It's actually not that bad looking of a game. The problem is just the lack of consistency when it comes to the male and female models, and especially with MyRise. That being said, I had pretty much no frame rate issues whatsoever. The game ran just fine on my Xbox Series X. Gameplay, I give an 8. I think there's some slight tweaks they can make with the combinations and everything, but for the most part, it's a pretty easy game to pick up and play. Content, I give WWE 2K24 a 9. There are some tweaks that can be made, especially with MyRise. I feel like the easiest thing with MyRise is just making it look better, making it look as nice as the rest of the game modes. If you could do that with 2K Showcase, why can't you do that with MyRise? And just a little bit more customizable aspects of MyGM would be very welcome. Overall, TSC gives WWE 2K24 40 Years of WrestleMania Edition an 8 out of 10. Want to know how to extend your fun in WWE 2K24 even when WWE 2K25 drops? You're about to find out. I'm here to show y'all how to access community creations and download them. But you might be asking first, what are community creations? You see, there's a lot of people that picked up 2K24 during the holiday season, understandably so. It's been on sale for a while. It's still a really good game, and it's online for at least another year, even when WWE 2K25 comes out. So you might be wondering, well, how can I enjoy my WWE 2K24 to the max and keep it up to date, even if I don't buy the new game? Well, glad you asked. So here's what you can do. First off, of course, you sign in on your PlayStation or Xbox or PC. You'll see home, and you'll want to hit that button to get to the online tab. It'll take you to the community creations right here, which features the late great Fiend. You click on that, and all of a sudden you'll see downloads, uploads, and image manager. Downloads are creations made by the WWE 2K community that you can download. Uploads are, well, your own uploads, and image manager are images that you have uploaded as well and maybe have available that you want to use for future creations. But for this particular video, we're going to focus on the downloads. So we're going to click on Happy Corbin here, who's no longer with WWE, and you'll see that you get this menu right here. You have all superstars, shows, movesets, sign-in images, arenas, Money in the Bank briefcases, favorite creators featuring that creep Drew Gulak who's no longer with the company, and hopefully he's somewhere in obscurity, and championships. So what we're going to do for this example is go to all. Sometimes it takes a little while to load depending on the server speed and everything, because there's a lot of people to access these. And you'll see the most recent creations here, the most downloaded and the most upvoted. In this case, we're going to look at what the most downloaded creations currently are. And as you can see, at least on Xbox, there are 196,438 pages of creations, which is wild. So here's what you get. A little bit of everything. So say you're an AEW fan, you're a fan of The Shield, and Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, is no longer with the company. Well, you can download them here. Say you want to play WrestleMania 40 and properly finish the story. You can download the arena here. You can click on it, click upvote, and then you can click download, and then it'll tell you downloading content. Please don't turn off your Xbox Series XS console. Again, sometimes it takes a little while. I have gigabit internet, but it really depends on the server speed of WWE 2K. Hey, maybe I want Jacob Fatu. There you go. I already upvoted this. I've downloaded this before, but it looks pretty cool. You got to download. You can flag as inappropriate, which I definitely won't do because this looks badass. You got the front view, rear view, custom images, the move sets right here, the performance, and the attributes, which look pretty damn good. And then you could go to content by creator if you want to check out this creators' work and support them some more, which I encourage y'all to do. And you'll see that this particular creator created some really good stuff here. Not only did they create Jacob Fatu, but they got some Emperor-looking dude. They have Crow Sting. They have some custom championships that are really cool. And the new Intercontinental Championships with the blue tint, which I like, along with B-Fab, Stephanie Vicaire, The Great Muta, Lex Luger, Bray Wyatt, 2002 Kane. In this case, let's go to Stephanie Vicaire. So as you can see right here, she's got her gear and everything. They got the face paint. I'm going to upvote this because it looks awesome. And then I'm going to click download. And wham, bam, it is going to end up on my roster. So I'll have a custom Stephanie Vicaire. So there you go. We also have Adam Cole, Tonga Loa, Cody from WrestleMania 40, a few other cast of characters, LeBron James, Goku, Spider-Man, Trump, Jeff Hardy, the current WWE Tag Team Championships. You could go to most upvoted right here, and it gives you really the fans' choice of what is the nicest looking creation. So we'll let this load for a sec, and there you go. And you'll see it's pretty similar, but you also have The Rock as well. And you can switch pages by click on each trigger, the right trigger, left trigger to go back and forth. And you'll see they have the World Tag Team Championships, Mark Henry, MJF, Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, Kenny Omega, The Joker. And the nice thing, too, is you could also filter this. So if you want to search, you could go to search, and you can search different categories here. So let's just say you want to search, I don't know, championships or Money in the Bank. Actually, we haven't seen any shows on Money in the Bank. So let's go there. Let's go to movesets. We could go there. We'll go to arenas. And then you could also search by hashtag and by creator and by upload date. Let me search right here. And woo! Look at that. You have all kinds of arenas right here, which is pretty cool. So there you go. You got Bad Blood. You got SmackDown 0102 with the giant fist. You have Raw 25, the Netflix premiere, ECW, again, WrestleMania 40. That's pretty cool right there. If you want to just filter it to movesets and Money in the Bank briefcases, which we haven't really looked at, you can. So you have the Cody Rhodes moveset, the AJ Styles moveset. You got Boston Connor, Gunther. And then let's go to most downloaded and see what we have here. Penta. Yeah, Cero Miedo. I like that. And then if you want to just specifically filter it with Money in the Bank briefcases, and that's exactly what it is, Money in the Bank briefcases, you have a bunch of custom briefcases here, which are pretty fun. You got the Senior Money in the Bank one, Tiffany Stratton, PS5, SmackDown and Raw from back in the day, Mountain Dew, NXT, the gold Money in the Bank briefcase, the black one, the purple Damian Priest one, even have an AEW and ECW one, so that's cool. But now let's just say you want to see these custom wrestlers in action, right? And custom arenas. How do you go about it? Well, you go back to the menu right here. You go to home. You click play. For this particular example, we're going to select 8 superstars here. And for arena, you go to custom arenas. Just click the tab right here. You can do AW Dynamite, WrestleMania XL. You know what? We'll do WrestleMania XL right here. And then I'm just going to show you how these pop up. So we go to custom superstars right here. And you can select the likes of Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, Darby Allin, all these other guys I've downloaded over the course of the time I've had this game. Jay White, Jeff Hardy, I Believe in Joe Hendry, John Moxley, Kenny Omega, Naomi, who of course was away from WWE for a while before she came back, Samoa Joe, Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, Stephanie Vicaire, Sting, Swerve, Strickland, and Will Ospreay. So those are all the custom stars that I currently have right now, but you could download a bunch, and the great thing is they are not only playable, but they help keep your game up to date. Now, keep in mind, at some point in the next year or so, the servers will be shut down for WWE 2K24. That's just the rite of passage, but hey, you still got plenty of time to create and download some awesome creations to keep your game as up to date as possible. And hey, WWE 2K24 is a great game. If you want to buy 2K25, I'm sure it'll be fun. But if you're enjoying 2K24, I don't see why you can't just continue to extend the fun with WWE community creations. Just keep in mind that sometimes results may vary. For example, I downloaded an Adam Copeland and he came out bald. Sometimes there's some glitches here and there. You'll have to re-download. So just some minor things to keep in mind. But overall, hey, Community Creations is a great part of the WWE 2K family. Hopefully it continues to stay strong heading into 2K25 as far as the community goes. Because at the end of the day, a game is only as awesome as its community. And WWE 2K has one of the best communities in all of gaming. But I want to hear from you. Did you like Community Creations? Have you tried it yet? Are you going to pick up WWE 2K24 or 2K25 after seeing this video? Let me know. Leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this update, like, share. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more updates like this. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the games.